Hey y'all, long time no see, right? My name is Ashanti. If this is your first time here, if it's not your first time here, welcome back. And my apologies for going MIA on y'all, but we have to get some things into place. So let me get y'all up to speed. Okay, y'all, real quick before we get into the topics for today's video, I just wanted to give a quick thank you to Firmu for sponsoring today's video. Firmu is an eyeglass company that provides professional, high-quality prescription eye care at affordable prices. And when I say affordable, I mean like $20, $30 range, some even cheaper than that. They also have over 1,000 frames to choose from, and each frame comes with a hard case to ensure your frames are protected during shipping. And they also come with a little cloth bag that doubles as a cleaner for your lenses. So I picked out two frames that I'm going to be trying on for y'all today. The first one being this clear pair and the second one being this black pair. So the clear pair of frames that I chose are definitely for my minimalistic girlies, the ones who just want to be able to see without the frames themselves drawing too much attention. Still very cute though. You see it. I was clearly feeling myself. And these frames do retail at regular price for $19.99. Right now there is a 20% off flash sale where they are marked down to $16. Now this second pair I was a little nervous about just because black frames are very bold, so if they're not the shape that's made for your face, it will be very evident. However, when these glasses came in and I tried them on for the first time, I literally fell in love. They're so cute and sophisticated with this little peekaboo design on the temple. It's definitely for the girls who want to see and be seen, because there's no way people are going to look at you and not ask where you got these frames from. Y'all, when I tried these frames on, I felt so classy and sophisticated, and not only are these frames cute, they're very affordable as well. They're regularly listed for $28.99. Right now they are marked down for $11. And of course I have a coupon code for y'all that I'll leave linked down below for y'all to receive 50% off of your orders. And thank you again so much to Firmu for sponsoring this video. In today's video, we're going to be doing a life update, and I'm going to kind of cross-reference it with some questions that I have people ask me on Instagram. So let's go ahead and get into it. I want to say I left off with my last few vlogs in February, right after my birthday. I know I finished school for aesthetics in February, and then my birthday was literally a week later. So I guess I'll kind of transition that into everything else that I've had going on. While I was in school, I did have a job secured to where probably a few months after I graduated, I would already be able to go ahead and go into that job. It was gonna be a brand new business opening. Well, they were franchising a business, but they were going to be like a newer location. So I would be the first medical esthetician coming in to work for this business. And my aunt actually worked for them. She's a medical esthetician as well. She worked for them, so she kind of took me under her wing to start getting me some hands-on training so that I could kind of have a leg up when it came to job searching, and I could, say that I've done hands-on training with these tools, or I've rendered these services. I'm comfortable doing these things. I actually already had a job secured before I graduated, so I didn't really have to think about what I wanted to do afterwards or where I wanted to work. That was kind of already put into place for me. However, probably like 2 weeks after I signed my job offer, so I signed my job offer mid-February, the lady called me as I was getting ready to go out for my birthday. She calls me and she says, so I just wanted to call you and let you know that we're not going to be able to move forward with you because we were getting ready to do your background check, and when we Googled your name, I guess they saw that you had mugshots or whatever. I just asked her one question. Y'all, honestly, I was so nonchalant because I was getting ready to go out for my birthday. Nobody or nothing is going to ruin my birthday. Like, I don't care what you call and tell me, you're not finna ruin my birthday. I was like, so did y'all Google me or did y'all do like a formal background check? And she didn't answer the question. She just said it again. She was like, well, when we Googled you, we saw that you had mugshots or whatever. And I was just like, okay, thank you. Thank you for everything. I wasn't even finna sit there and argue because everybody has a mugshot. If you get arrested, you have a mugshot. Just because somebody has a mugshot does not mean they've been convicted or charged with anything. And I ain't been convicted of nothing. So I'm like, okay, whatever, cool. It's in the back of my mind for later on, when I'm ready to start working full time. I know I'm gonna have to actually actively go out and find a job now. So from that time frame up until the summertime, I really wasn't doing anything really just working on the weekends. Y'all know I had my serving job, but y'all, I actually started having like some really good days, because honestly, I started this job when I was still working full-time in property management, so I never really took the job serious. Honestly, it was just something for me to do on the weekends to make extra money while I didn't have the boys, since they like are always going on the weekends. Now this is like my only source of income. I'm done with school at this point, because y'all know I was going to school Monday through Friday, working Saturdays, and then I would sometimes work Sundays, but most of the time I was taking that as like my little breather before the week. I started having some really good days, like $600-$700 days. I was working doubles on some Saturdays. I was even willing to pick up Sunday morning shifts, because on a Sunday morning, like I was able to make like a good $400 or $500. So I was able to make within 2 days like close to $1,000. I was like, okay, this is really good for now. Like only having to go to work for 2 days and still being able to keep everything afloat. Cool. Whenever I did start kind of looking into jobs, kind of during the summertime, I wasn't really finding anything that made me feel like I would be growing or learning more than what I already knew. My initial reaction was kind of to just, like step back, think about it a little bit more, and then we'll make a plan and see what we're gonna do moving forward. The moment I started school, I already knew that I wanted to work either at a medical spa or with a plastic surgeon. I do plan to get both of those things done. Of course, like they're gonna be done on like different timelines, but that was my goal, so I already knew that I'm not settling. When it came closer to time for me to start seriously thinking about these things, I was like, okay, what's something that like a regular spa has, or that a medical spa has that a regular spa doesn't? Like the first thing that came to my mind was laser hair removal. I remember when I was in school, we actually had a technician from this laser institute come to the school. So I reached out to them to see if they like had my name anywhere in their system, because they told us like, if you sign in on this sign-in sheet, it'll let us know that you attended like our little seminar today, and if you decide to take any of our classes in the future, you'll get a discount. So I got that discount. I went and took my little 40-hour course, got that knocked out. I did my practical, I did my classroom time, I did like my hands-on, everything that I needed to do I got done. When you take the first 40-hour course, you get like an apprentice license, which means you can do laser hair removal, but you have to be doing it under somebody. So I was like, or not, I'm not sure that I explained that very well. So I could do laser hair removal, but there has to be like a senior technician on site with me. Like I wouldn't be able to be there alone and be doing the service. I went ahead and paid for the next class that I would need to get my actual technician license. Got that done, and actually in the process of me like doing my trainings, I met some girls that worked for this medical spa, and I was kind of picking their brains a little bit. And one of the girls, we got through the practical first, and the practical consisted of me doing 100 different treatment areas. She was going to sign off on these areas, let them know how I did, and my license would kind of depend on that. When it comes to anything like aesthetic wise, I'm pretty confident with like trying new things, rendering services. So I wasn't nervous at all, but when I went in there, I showed the fuck out. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I showed the fuck out, to the point to where before I even started picking her brain about stuff, she kind of like threw it out to me like, hey, like, we do have like a few different locations, and like if you ever wanted to work for us, I would definitely give you a reference, because you've done really good. She was like, I've never had somebody come in and do like really good. Like you didn't really have any questions. You knew everything. Like whatever questions I was asking to quiz y'all, like you were ready and you were always confident in your answers. I was like, okay. Like we exchanged like contact information on Instagram. I was like, okay, like when I'm ready, I'm gonna reach out to you. I'm gonna see if you for real. And she was like, I'm for real. So when the end of the summer comes around and it's getting closer to time for the boys to go back to school, I had my week planned out, because I knew I was going to get my hair done on this day, because we were going to spend the weekend in Austin for Rachel's birthday. So I was like, okay, the day that I get my hair done, like I know I'm gonna be confident. I'm gonna be like shoulders back, head held high. I'm going to drop off copies of my resume. I made a list of places that I wanted to take my resume to, but I already knew I was going to this med spa, and I was going to reach out to the girl that did my training. But I still wanted to have options to choose from and kind of see what's out there, like what their numbers are like, what they have to offer. I told her whenever I was going to get ready to drop off the resume, and y'all, one thing about being confident about like handing over somebody a resume, make sure that thing is in tip top shape, make sure it's easy on the eye, it's up to date, because baby, one thing about it, you never know when you're gonna need it, and when you need it, you don't want to be having to go back and try to look and make sure you got everything up to date. You want to have it ready to go. If y'all want me to make a video about that, I can, because I'm really good with resumes. Even when I was in school, everybody would bring me their resumes to like proofread, let them know what I think they should add in or take out. So if y'all want me to make a video kind of going over that, I will. So actually, a few days later, the actual owner of the company reached out to me personally. We sat up my interview, and y'all, I feel like everything just fell into place so perfectly when it came to this job. Like, I knew what I wanted, but I didn't know exactly what company I wanted to be with. And the girl kind of gave me like some background information on like their policies and procedures, things that they do to make the employees feel appreciated. So I'm like, okay, I was already pretty eager. And then all women work for the company. A lot of the women are moms. They take that into consideration, like when it comes to holidays and stuff like that. So they had already kind of won me over anyways. The day that the interview comes, I initially did have like something like figured out, like for my sister to be able to watch the boys while I went to my interview. She ended up having something come up to where the same time that I had to go to my interview, she had to get her hair done. My mama was at work and she had just like took a promotion, so she really couldn't leave early or take any days off because they were still in like that transition. I had everything mapped out because I was gonna have to be the one to drop her off and pick her up from her hair appointment. So I dropped her off to her hair appointment. I left to go to my interview. Mind you, I had the boys with me. Like, I'm just kind of like coaching them up. Like, we ended up getting to the side of town, like where my interview was, probably like 30 minutes early. There was a park literally 5 minutes away from the job. So stopped, let the boys play at the park for like 20 minutes. That way, like, okay, they'll be chill. They didn't run out their energy. They calm. They won't be like overstimulated sitting in the backseat of the car while I go like in here to do this. As we're sitting at the park, the owner calls me and he's like, hey, like, I know we had our interview scheduled for today. However, I ended up getting stuck at one of our other locations because we had an issue with one of the lasers. So I'm just gonna go ahead and have you meet with my right hand. She's like my manager. I'm gonna have you go ahead and meet with her, ask her any questions that you have, and then I'll kind of touch back with her and see like how she wants to go about moving forward. Didn't even really do a formal interview. She just kind of asked me, because she's the same girl that I talked to when I came in to drop off my resume. So she was like, I already had good vibes from you. Like, your resume looks really good. You went through the institute. Like, you've met some of the girls. Like, do you have any questions for me? And I was like, what's the uniform? What time do I need to be here? Dress code? Like, let me know what I need to know when I'm coming in on my first day. And she did. Like, she just let me know, okay, you can wear this, that. Come at this time. I'll reach out to such and such for your start date, and then we'll move forward from there. At some point, she did tell me that the owner was going to be out of town for a few days. This was like really early in the week. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll hear from them by the weekend, like once they made it back. Did not hear from them at all over the weekend. Y'all, I had the shittiest shift getting ready to leave quotes. And as I was leaving out of work, walking across the parking lot to my car, the owner calls me. He's like, can you show up Tuesday at 10 o'clock? Absolutely. He's like, okay, we'll have your job offer and everything ready for you to sign, all your onboarding paperwork ready to go, and we'll get you started. So that's kind of how that came into play. And y'all, literally, like when I say everything was so aligned for that job, like even the people I was working with. So the girl whose position I was filling, I actually went to high school with her. And then one of the other girls I was going to be working with, we went to Ogle together. So our school for aesthetics. So that brings us up to August. Of course, Micah started going back to school. I got Jason enrolled in daycare, and I started working. So I did tell myself that I would still kind of serve on the weekends until I reached that transition to where I was, you know, like getting my full checks or whatever, because y'all know how it is when you first start a job. And honestly, I feel like I could have kept going, but the second job, the serving job, it was already very toxic. But the more I started comparing like my new job to like this, and like how much more valued I felt over here as an employee, how easier it is for me to like capitalize off of myself, it was just like, a no-brainer. It was just like time for me to leave there. It is a black-owned restaurant that I was working for, and I tried not to look at it through that lens because there's so many stigmas about like black-owned businesses in general. But like everything that you would hear about or see about when it comes to that stigma was starting to come true. And it's like they were putting different things into place to try to suppress our like gratuity, really not wanting us to reach our full potential. They started putting like different policies and procedure in place where it was just like, am I coming to work for free? There were employees there who actually love what they do, in the sense of all they know is serving, all they know is being in the kitchen, but they couldn't do it and thoroughly enjoy themselves because they constantly had somebody breathing down their neck or trying to micromanage how they like operate. So honestly, since then, all I've really been doing is working. I've been taking like more time off because my work schedule is still very flexible even though I work full time. I guess I'll kind of start incorporating some of the questions that I got on Instagram, and I did kind of pick out the ones that I want to ask because I don't want to like get too off topic. I want to ask the questions that still kind of align with what we're already talking about. The first question, well, I can kind of put these two together. When you gonna be single again, and how has your dating life been? When have I not been single? Until you see me on here with a ring on my finger, baby, I am single. And then how's my dating life been? My dating life has been pretty non-existent. I did have one little like run-in with this guy that I met at my job when I was at that point where I was actually serving more consistently because I was getting to that bag. So I met this dude while I was working a double. He was actually pretty nice, pretty cute. I definitely have a type, I'ma just say that. So he kept asking me like, I really want to take you on a date. Like, I'm going out of town with my family. We're going to Florida this week, but when I get back, I really want to take you on a date. I'm like, okay, cool. So we were talking every day, like leading up to the date. We were on the phone the night before. I don't really like being on the phone for long periods of time if we don't actually have nothing to talk about. I stay on the phone with like my sister or my cousins because baby, we be kikiing, like we just be having a time. But like dudes, I don't like sitting on the phone like that. Like literally half the time I would just sit here and look at my phone ring because what do you have to tell me on the phone that you just couldn't take? We were on the phone the night before. I'm like, okay, well, I'll talk to you later, or I'll text you whenever. I think I was going to get in the tub. After I got out the tub, I went to bed. I was like, okay, I'll text you after I get out the tub. I ended up falling asleep, like I said. The next day, dude is MIA. No call, no text, no good morning. Mind you, I had been getting a good morning text every morning leading up to then. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'm gonna just ride the day out, see if like maybe he say something later on. Cause I didn't realize is that I be overdoing it. Like when I address something, like even if I don't really care, I'll address something to the point to where it make you feel like I do, even though I'm really just speaking on the fact that you thought you could play with me. I texted him the next day and I was like, you literally sat here on my phone every day for 2 weeks straight begging to take me on a date just to go MIA the date that we were supposed to go. This dude said, oh, well, you told me that you was gonna text me after you got out the tub or whatever. I'm like, sir, that was last night. And then I just erased the message. I ain't even say nothing back. You got it, because baby, that's dead. You grown, you're older than me. I have no reason to be trying to sit here and point out what you did wrong in that situation. That's the little 2-3 week snippet of how my dating life went in 2024. How has life been treating you? Life has been treating me overall very well. I mean, obviously you can only take it day by day. Some days do be feeling like harder than others, but overall I have a lot to be thankful for. Everything that I've asked for, I've received, and if I haven't received it, I'm working towards it. My next question is, what's something that you feel like every mom should know? Whenever people ask me like mom related advice, I really don't be knowing what to say because everybody is different. Every child is different. Every parent is different. Every pregnancy is different. I guess I would say do what works for you and your child, because nobody has all the answers, even though some people feel like because they have a child, they know every damn thing. They don't know what pertains to you and your child. So just do what works for y'all. Be patient, take it day by day. When people give you advice, you don't have to take it. If you don't look at that person and see something that you want for yourself specifically, you do not have to take the advice, because people love just talking like shh. And I think I'm gonna wrap it up after this question. So my last question is, did you hit your goals for the year? I did not hit all of my goals for the year, but I hit 3 out of my 4 major goals. And if y'all have been around, then y'all know we kind of sat down and discussed my goals. I broke it down quarter by quarter what my each major goal would be for that quarter, and then I talked about like some of my smaller goals. The fourth one is currently in the works. I'm not gonna go too much into the detail about that. I'll probably bring y'all along once everything has been completed, but I kind of don't want to talk about it ahead of time just because I don't feel like everybody has my best interest at heart, or like everybody wants to see good things happen to me or for me. So I'll just keep it to myself for now. I know one of the underlying goals that I had spoke about was like nourishing my relationships and trying to find growth in those areas. And y'all, honestly, cutting off relationships is growth as well. If there's anybody in your life who does not serve you positively, who is not moving you forward or making you feel like the best version of yourself, or giving you like encouraging words, just like, you know what a healthy relationship looks like. And this is just not like, I mean, relationships, friendships, anybody in your life, honestly. Nourish the ones that move you forward, that make you feel good and make you feel like you're prospering as a person. So yeah, y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank y'all for sticking around and waiting for your girl to come back. It's been a good long 9-10 months. I needed that little mental break, and y'all can see why. Like, I like to do things by the book. Y'all know I'm a planner type of girl. I like to write my stuff down and be as organized as possible, but I had so much going on that if I kept trying to do everything, I was never going to be able to give like 100% in any area, because I wasn't balancing my time specifically. I would get wrapped up in one thing and forget about everything else. So I was kind of just like, let me focus on what I need right now, which was my job, my career getting started, and I mean, just my mental health, period. I was like, I can put YouTube on the back burner for a little bit, because I'm not even gonna lie, YouTube, it sometimes can be a little bit discouraging just because it's kind of a slow and steady type of platform. It's not like TikTok where you could just have that viral moment and be like big overnight. I feel like YouTube is a little bit more sustainable for like people with longer attention spans who want to know, like, who want to have these little heart to hearts and sit down and know what you have going on mentally. I feel like TikTok is for people with shorter attention spans, but you can still go on there and like be open and show your personality. So y'all know I had never been on TikTok before, but your girl has been active on TikTok, so go follow me. Don't expect to see the same type of content that y'all see here. I want like each platform to be something different. But yeah, y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Don't forget to check out Firmoo and get y'all some cute glasses, some affordable, high quality, because y'all, literally the same quality as designer frames that I paid $200-$300 for, literally. And just so freaking cute. Like, I can't even see myself, but I feel like I look cute. But yeah, y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in, and I will see y'all in my next video.